All right, folks, one more video before we get ready to head off to News Radio 1020, KDK. And remember, no Allegheny Health Network program, Medical Frontiers, tonight at 7. Back next week, January the 8th, the topic, Ask the Doctor Anything. But we will open the phone lines up at 866-391-1020 and Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDK.com, as we share the top 10 news stories and business stories of the year. And then remember, in the 10 o'clock hour, it's all about the week that was and what lies ahead for the Steelers in the National Football League. We'll also talk the college bowl picture. A lot of games on this New Year's Day as they head to their championship. Now, it is Donald Trump sworn in as the 45th president, the top story of the year. He said the forgotten men and women of our country would be forgotten no more. The next day, 500,000 marchers demonstrated for gender equality. The Mueller investigation. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller in May named a special counsel to conduct the investigation into whether or not Russian influence took place in the 2016 presidential election. More than 5 months later, Mueller's office indicted President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, also former President Trump advisor George Papadopoulos. In December, former National Security Council head Michael Flynn pleaded guilty in federal court to making false statements to the FBI. Greater tension with North Korea. American tensions with North Korea intensified rapidly since President Trump was inaugurated in late January. Leader Kim Jong-un made no secret that his scientists are working on a nuclear-tipped missile capable of reaching the U.S. In early October, back-to-back bombshell reports in the New York Times and the New Yorker revealed that film mogul Harvey Weinstein allegedly lured women into hotel rooms and bars and sexually harassed or assaulted them in what some have described as an open secret known for years in Hollywood. Later that month, after a tweet from actress Alyssa Milano, who was one of Weinstein's accusers, social media was inundated with personal stories of being the victims of sexual harassment or assault, all using the hashtag #MeToo. The massacre in Las Vegas. October 1st, a lone gunman unleashed a rapid-fire barrage of bullets down on a crowd of concert-goers from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, killing 59 people and injuring more than 500. It was the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history. Terrorism in popular tourist destinations. In late March, 3 people were killed and about 40 injured when an attacker rammed into pedestrians on London's Westminster Bridge and attempted to enter Parliament with a knife. In May, children were among the 22 killed in a suicide bombing after an Ariana Grande concert at Britain's Manchester Arena. August 13, 13 people were killed and more than 100 wounded in Spain when a van plowed into a Barcelona tourist destination, La Rambla. October 31st, terrorism struck the U.S. when a rented pickup truck deliberately mowed down pedestrians on a bike path in Lower Manhattan. In August, President Trump declared America's opioid epidemic a national emergency, 2 days after vowing the U.S. would win and fight against it. The devastation in the hurricane season, unlike others, has come to a close in December after causing billions of dollars of damage, devastating those who were impacted by Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria when they plowed through the south part of Texas, Florida, and the Caribbean. The total solar eclipse went across the U.S. late in August, enchanting Americans in small towns and large stadiums from coast to coast. The nation was captivated by the first solar eclipse to cross the U.S. since 1918. The Culture Wars. On August 12th, white nationalists gathered at Emancipation Park in Charlottesville, Virginia, before a rally organized by a group known as Unite the Right. The rally's purpose was to protest the removal of a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Later that day, a 32-year-old woman was killed and more than 19 injured after a car rammed into a group of counter-protesters who were there demonstrating against the alt-right. In early October, Vice President Mike Pence attended a San Francisco 49ers game in Indianapolis, only to walk out after some of the team's players knelt during the Star-Spangled Banner. After the fallout, President Trump said days later that the NFL should have suspended former San Francisco quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who was the first to take a knee during the national anthem to protest racial injustice in the U.S. Top 10 business stories for 2017. The year of China, the world's second largest economy, flexed its muscles in 2017. Tech giant Tencent briefly passed Facebook in market share and grabbed a 12% stake in Snap. AT&T versus the Department of Justice and other media news. No one expected AT&T's $85 billion takeover bid of Time Warner to be a walk in the park. If the deal goes through, it'll set up a huge precedent in the media environment dominated by emerging platforms. There's Disney closing in on a chunk of 21st Century Fox's assets to make them truly an entertainment giant, and Netflix upped its subscriber base by 100 million. Also a huge year for digital media darlings like BuzzFeed and Vice. SoftBank has a vision. SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son, who is a telecom company leader, better known for investing in red-hot startups as opposed to its core business. How about $93 billion in Vision Fund? Pretty incredible, right? He spent 45 minutes with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and walked away with a check for $1 billion. They've had a lot of success from companies like WeWork, Uber, to Compass. Jeff Bezos versus the world. Amazon rattled the grocery industry with their acquisition of Whole Foods for $13.7 billion, costing the sixth largest grocery chains a combined $12 billion in market share. Kroger's and others scrambling to figure out how to turn defense into offense. Autonomous driving is here. GM, which currently has 180 self-driving Chevy Bolts zipped around California, Michigan, and Arizona. And a year to forget for Uber. January 29th, the hashtag Delete Uber starts trending in response to the company's decision to continue during the protest of President Trump's refugee ban. February 19th, former Uber employee Susan Fowler pens a blog describing the company's wide culture of sexual harassment. February 28th, a video goes viral of CEO Travis Kalanick arguing with an Uber driver. March 3rd, the New York Department of Transportation drops a gray ball, a software tool Uber used to deceive authorities in the cities hostile to its service. June 21st, CEO Travis Kalanick resigns. August 10th, Benchmark Capital and early Uber investor sues Kalanick for gross mismanagement among other misdeeds. August 27th, Uber taps former Expedia chief Gary Kawashawi as their new CEO. And then on November 21st, their new CEO writes a blog revealing a hack of 57 billion accounts, plus Uber paid $100,000 to hackers to keep quiet and destroy information. November 28th, a SoftBank-led group of investors officially issues offers to acquire more than 14% of the company at a 30% discount. Now to what I believe to one of the good stories of the year, tax overall. Corporations will pay 21% rather than 35%. Most individuals will get a break too through several important deductions, mortgage interest and local tax, just to name a few. Big tech companies under the microscope. Big story from this year. Russian actors who use Facebook, Twitter, and Google to spread misinformation and fake news during the 2016 election. Cryptomania. In 2010, 10,000 units of Bitcoin were used to buy 2 pizzas. Now, 1 unit of Bitcoin will land you a reliable 4-door sedan. You either love it or hate it, but in 2017, the year began creeping above $1,000 a unit, but it finished with an explosive gain that topped $17,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we will dive into all of that tonight, and again, your calls are welcome. It's Rob Pratt, Monday night, starting at 7 on News Radio 1020 KDKA. And again, Happy New Year. Good afternoon.